Hey, good morning again. Phillip Statler here. Getting ready to do our morning show with Dave. And just want to thank you guys for tuning in. And I hope you find this program valuable. Hey, let me know if you do. Really appreciate it. Like our page and share it every day. Would be much appreciated. Hold on just a moment, and Dave will be with us.
FM. Just Timberlake's there. Morning Dave is here. It's 8:39. It's time to check in and find out how that investment portfolio is doing. You don't have one? IRAs, 401ks, they're called investment portfolios, regardless of where you put the money. And it all gets affected by what we talk about here. Let's go downtown Sebring, find out what's going on this morning. Phillip Statler is on the line from Statler Financial Services. Phillip, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well today. How about you?
I can't complain. We start out with some crummy news on the housing start setting. We were talking beforehand before we went on the air, and we haven't had a good housing report now, whether it's mortgages, whether it's rates, whether it's building permits, whether it's starts, we haven't had a good news on the housing front now in months, and it's not going to continue this morning, is it?
No, it's unfortunately not going to continue this morning, Dave. I wish it was, but we got housing starts came out this morning just before you and I started talking, and it was a disappointment, a huge disappointment in my opinion. They expected new home starts to be at 1.25 million, so 1,250,000 starts. Came in at 1,078,000. That's the lowest level in more than 2 years for housing starts.
Holy crud. That's not what we had in mind, especially with a bunch of mortgage information coming out later on today, according to the schedule anyway from the government. We talked about that there. Their schedule is just completely kaput since the government shutdown. But we just keep getting peppered with negative news as far as the housing market is concerned. And that showed up when Home Depot reported their quarters, because Home Depot is now getting whacked on the market, and everybody that does business like them, right?
Yeah, they really are. They missed. They were supposed to come in at 216 a share. They came in at 209, and that doesn't include a special one-time 16 cents a share impairment loss that they had on one of their brand units. Revenue was also below the forecast. Now they did do a couple things. They increased their dividend by 32%. They also announced a $15 million stock buyback. So some good things there, but I don't think it's going to be enough to help them this morning as the market gets ready to open. They're trading down this morning 3.26%, and I'm sure that's hurting Lowe's this morning, like you were telling me earlier this morning.
Yeah, I noticed Lowe's, the Home Depot is down 3 1/3% or so this morning. Even raising the dividend didn't help that any. And we call it a sector effect more than anything else. Lowe's does about the same thing Home Depot does, generally right across the street from each other. And Lowe's is down by almost 1 3/4%, and those poor schmoes didn't even report yet, did they?
No, they haven't. So, we're going to have to see how that affects them. And maybe their numbers will be better than Home Depot's. Who knows? But I think that kind of goes hand in hand, though, with the other number we just got as far as housing starts.
It really does. I mean, and that also implies the remodeling is leveling off a little bit too, because the do-it-yourselfer haunts Home Depots and Lowe's, but they also do provide a lot of materials for original construction too. Bottom line is, we're getting the drumbeat over and over again. The economy ain't bad, but it is definitely leveling off, and that kind of worries us for that GDP report coming out at the middle of later on this week, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, and I think maybe it will be in line with what we talked about yesterday, which will not be a good sign for our economy, but it doesn't mean we're not growing. We're just not growing as fast as what everybody would like to see us grow. Now, so I got a couple other reports coming out. J.M. Smuckers, I think it was a couple quarters ago they had some issues, but they had a great a quarter. They beat by 25 cents a share. Their revenue also beat the analyst forecast. They had some newer products come out that have helped them significantly in their revenue numbers. So they're trading up today almost 6% this morning before the market gets started.
I see them up toward the top of my big winner list this morning so far. I guess the dictate is if you can't afford a home, make yourself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right?
Well, hopefully you can always afford a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Well, it's kind of a staple. Can't live without it. Other indications that we got.
So I got Shake Shack. Shake Shack is, the restaurant chain. We don't really, I don't know if they even have them in the East, but I've not seen any down in Florida before. But they came in about 3 cents ahead of estimates. Their same store sales rose by 2.3%, which was better than expected. Revenue was above forecast. They've been able to raise their prices, so that's been a big help for them. And so but their forward guidance wasn't real good, so they're trading down about 3% this morning before the market gets opening up today.
Once again, even when you beat, you got to get all three of the primaries together: profit, revenue, and guidance in order to get rewarded in this market, don't you?
Yeah, you really do. Now I got three barn burners here to the upside, and none of them are in the same industry, so kind of interesting there. We've got Etsy. Now you remember what Etsy was, Dave?
Yeah, they sell stuff online. They specialize in crafty stuff, I know.
There you go. Yep, absolutely. So they came in 11 cents ahead of what was expected. Their revenue beat forecast. They also increased their 2019 revenue guidance, which is always a good thing. And I don't know if they're tracking on your system or not, but they're up almost 10% this morning.
They aren't on my system, but that's a healthy gain because my number one winner on my list is only up about 9%. So that is a barn burner. Give me some more good news. I need a smile this morning.
So we got Hertz, right? Hertz rental car. Remember O.J. Simpson running through the airports? Well, Hertz lost 55 cents a share. Now that sounds terrible, doesn't it, Dave?
It does, but I know they've been having problems recently, so I bet you're going to tell me that's good news even, right?
It is good news because they were expected to lose 90 cents a share. So good things there. Their revenue also beat forecast. And here's the deal. They've got a strong momentum going into this year. And so they're trading up 11.2% this morning. They are getting really close to their 52-week high.
Well, it's about darn time one of the premium car rental companies ended up having a good quarter. Let's see if that carries over in the sector as the earnings continue to get released. Other good news this morning?
So here's my last one. It's Tenet Healthcare. Now, Tenet runs some hospitals, and I don't know if there's any in Florida. I know that they're kind of based out of the Carolinas.
They don't ring a bell for me, but I know I've heard the name. I just don't recognize the chain.
Yeah, they beat estimates by about 15 cents, 20 cents, not 20, 15 cents a share. Their revenue was above analyst expectations. They said they had a good, they were able to make some improvements in 2018. They are trading up this morning 18%.
Cool. Well,
that's my big winner today.
You can't make money any other way. Look for sick people, right?
Well, yeah, they got to pay you, right?
Well, somebody got to anyway. Setting the table for the morning. It was an up day on Wall Street yesterday. Dow was up by about 0.25%, up 60 points. NASDAQ up by better than that, up 27. And the S&P was up 3.5 yesterday as well. Green ink across the board. 45 minutes before we opened this morning, we kind of alluded to it. We're kind of in a funk this morning. Not really going any place fast, at least the last check I had. Where are we heading 45 minutes before trading begins?
Well, Dave, you and I spoke before we went on air, and I told you that the indexes had actually improved from when I got up this morning. But they are, since the housing numbers came out, they are finally starting to tank a little bit more. So the Dow is down about 0.5% right now, $122, just below 26,000. The S&P 500 is down 7, which is about 0.25%, down to 2790. The Nasdaq's down about 0.4%, 2950. Gold and silver both trading down just a tad. Crude oil is ticking up just a tad, about 0.33% to $55.65 a barrel.
One of my tip sheets said it was quote unquote stabilizing. I guess up 0.25% and considered stable these days in the oil markets, right?
I guess so. It's better than going hugely up.
Yeah, that's for sure. Overseas, Asian markets generally closed on the downside this morning, which might explain why we kind of took a dip overnight in our futures markets. Europe is following suit, pretty much red ink all over the globe this morning. Philip, if I need to figure out how to stabilize my retirement and get a healthy ending to my work career and my investment portfolio, how do I find you on the phone?
Well, hey, if you're thinking about changing gears and starting to head into retirement, it's a great opportunity for our X-ray report. Give me a call at 382-0037 to schedule that visit. Follow us online at statlerfinancial.com. Hey, check us out on Facebook. Statler Financial Services is our homepage. We actually repost this whole conversation almost every morning. And so look for it there. And then catch us for the weekend for the Statler Financial Radio Show, noon on Saturday, 10 a.m. on Sunday mornings. And now you can stream it live from WWTK's website,
which is newstalk730am.com. And the boss says he appreciates the plug, sir.
Hey, I am so glad he finally got it up and running.
Well, we got to enter the 21st century eventually. Someday we'll even replace the tubes in my transmitter. Yes. Have a good day, sir. I'll catch you tomorrow.
Buddy. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye. Light FM.
Well, that concludes our show for the day. But however, as you look at this post, if you'd like to schedule a time to talk about your retirement, hey, just a 20-minute, 30-minute phone call. Click the link above, and you can schedule that right online, and we can get together and just kind of chat before we meet. A great opportunity just to kind of get some questions answered at your convenience. So keep that in mind. Again, share the video. We really appreciate it. Y'all have a great day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.